Our next guest is the fastest Manning of all time, the funniest Manning of all time, and his son is about to take over at Texas. He's our guy, the Manning on the street. Cooper Manning joining us on the program there. Yeah.
Holy, thank you, my friend. Good to see you, buddy.
Last time the Super Bowl was here, we gave Cooper a camera and a microphone, and Coop went out and entertained the French Quarter there, and we launched a career. Was that your first time on camera doing things like that?
Not my first time on camera, but certainly the first time that people were going to watch something I did on camera. So I couldn't believe y'all just rolled the dice. It was no direction. It was just a camera. Go harass people. Paulie gave me no guidance. I just said, there's a camera, there's a French Quarter, have at it.
And this is the last time we were here, and Paulie goes, hey, what about Cooper Manning on the street? I go, is he any good? He goes, oh, he'll be great. I said, well, what direction? He goes, I don't think he needs direction. I'll just tell him, hey, go ask people questions, whatever you want to ask them in the French Quarter, and that's what you did.
I didn't want to put a muzzle on him. We walked down there. He saw some guy who was about 5'4" with a Bo Jackson jersey on him and started interviewing him as if it was Bo Jackson. And I was like, we got it. We're good.
Yes. It's amazing. I used that truthfully and presented it to ESPN and to Fox. Was trying to maybe develop something. Fox said, this is something. So here comes the 10th year of the Manning Hour. It's essentially everything we did in those couple days in the quarter has evolved into a mediocre career.
But you go to media night last night,
yeah,
and you show up in a band outfit.
You know,
a majorette,
a drum major,
a drum major,
right? A dumb major. Yeah, you know, in New Orleans, you kind of have to have a costume closet, and it's always being filled. So literally on Saturday, my wife came home and goes, I bought these for Mardi Gras just in case. And I went, I like this drum major hat. And, you know, there are always bands and parades and Super Bowl, and I thought it made sense, and it just filled in the rest. And, yeah, you know.
Yeah, but you go up and interview Travis Kelce. Did he know it was you?
50-50, maybe. No, at first, no, and then he kind of started – my line of questioning started bringing in brothers and mothers to it. He was, yeah, he's a good guy. He was a good sport.
Are you still the fastest Manning in the family?
No, it's over. It's been a good run. I mean, you know, and I've gotten better every year.
Well,
and a little faster every year.
Peyton and Eli can't be faster than you.
I was at one time, but I would say those days are.
Well,
yeah.
who's faster than you?
Oh, Arch.
Well, no, your son
and
is.
my daughter and my other son,
Your wife?
Hyde's a freshman at Texas. I'm sure he's eating like a plate of cheese fries right now and drinking beer, and he can still outrun me to the bathroom. So, yeah.
What advice would you give to parents with the situation that you're in? I don't know if Arch, your dad, helped Peyton and Eli with this. There was an NIL, but just being the dad and the questions that come about, opportunities that come about, what advice would you give to somebody who might be in a similar situation?
I think the best advice I can give is to look at the school and where you're going to go and where you're going to be happy. I mean, if money is dictating where you're going to go for the next 4 years, you're probably going to make a mistake. And, you know, where are you going to be? I always tell Arch, where are you going to be on Sunday nights when you've thrown 3 interceptions, you've gotten beat by the crosstown rivalry, your girlfriend broke up with you, you got 2 tests you haven't studied for, it's cloudy, and you're homesick, where are you still going to be relatively happy? And if you can figure that out, you made the right choice. But I wouldn't let, you know, a short-term dollar amount dictate a career.
How do you navigate NIL?
Slowly and carefully. I mean, I think again, you know, I think it depends. Everybody's in a different situation, certainly. But I think to play the long game is probably the best way to do it. You don't want to get caught up in doing these little short-term, you know, things that might, if you start having some success, could cannibalize you being able to do something bigger. No, you did a little dinky deal here that's going to hurt you from doing something bigger. So I would just pick your spots carefully and worry about the craft. The reason you're there is to get an education and to play football and to make friends and have a great college experience. It's not all about how much money you can jam in your pocket those couple years. So again, I look at college a little differently than everybody else does. Sometimes I think it's such a precious time and, you know, kind of molding who you're going to become. And if it's just a straight dollar decision, then I think you miss out on a lot.
And I was wondering about this too, because Arch sat and then Quinn Ewers comes back, you know, this past season. And then I wonder, but that's part of the process of being patient, waiting for your turn. and not transferring. But I'm wondering, at any point, does your son come home and say, Mom, Dad, I want to talk to you. Should I stay? I can go play right away some other place.
No, I think having your children struggle with some things is good. I mean, yeah, it's frustrating not to play. Did he love it? No. Was it probably good for him in the long run? Yes. And so you don't want your kiddos to come home and be unhappy, but at the same time, sometimes going through a little hardship and some bumps in the road are good. Arch is going to have plenty more of those. These are the real ones. When you get beat this year and have bad games, I mean, they're, how they do in the media. They crown you way too early, and then they jump on and kill you.
Yeah.
And so he's getting over way too much attention and way too much credit, and he's going to struggle. And they're going to say he's not as good, he's overrated. It's coming. Everybody knows it, so it's kind of easy to see the writing on the wall.
But you can tell him that is going to happen. Eli can tell him. Peyton can tell him. But until he goes through that,
right? It's no fun to go through it. But it's going to happen. It's inevitable. No one has this football is hard, and playing quarterback is really hard, especially when all eyes are on you. So it's just part of the deal. It's part of growing up, and everybody likes a guy who can get beat down and come back. You got to keep coming.
what do you like during a game?
Well, last couple of years, it's been pretty fun. I've kind of enjoyed just being the backup quarterback's dad. It's pretty delightful, actually.
We always like the backup quarterback.
No, I'm the crown prince of the parent section. I can do no wrong. But I think I'll be a lot more nervous and just probably biting fingernails and head down. But I like sitting with the parents. Texas has a great parent section and a good family-oriented group. We sit with the fans and in the stands with them and. A good group.
He's Cooper Manning, the other Manning. Did you ever get caught up in your identity or lose your identity because your brothers have such an identity?
No, I mean I've always been pretty comfortable with who I am. I'm super proud of my brothers. I've loved every moment of their success. I was in horrible moods when things didn't go right, on Sundays for them and Saturdays, and all smiles and buying everyone drinks at the bar when it went well. So I went through it just as much as any rabid fan and probably even more. I was, it's tough being, that I've enjoyed kind of having a little bit of a reprieve from that. And now it's getting ready to crank back up again where every single penalty and, drop and catch and is he out of bounds? You just grind and eat it away. And then that night you sleep on it and think about it over and over. So,
and you're going to be on camera a lot.
Well, I got a lot of makeup.
And you
on.
like that?
Thank goodness for makeup.
You like that?
No, I mean I don't want to be. I'll hide. I'll get a big hat. They'll never find me.
When first time I saw the Manning cast, I was like, they don't have to work. I mean, that's just basically. I loved Eli. The real Eli came out in the Manning cast.
Yeah,
he was stealth.
My dad said the other day, he's like, it took Eli till he was 40 till he got a personality. I mean, he is absolutely in his element. He's so comfortable back there. He's literally in his garage. I mean, he goes downstairs in his basement. I mean, he just walks downstairs from the den and hooks up a mic and is like, all right, let's talk football. And I think that was kind of the whole intention of this thing evolving, is that Peyton said, look, I don't want to be on the road on, Fridays and then going to practice on Saturdays and waiting Sundays to do a game. And then kind of with COVID and Zooms and the idea of being able to do things a little more remote came to fruition. He's at a buddy of his down the road who's got this great man cave. He was renovating his house and he called his buddy and said, hey, can we hook it up there? And it's there to stay.
I love
that. Peyton loves it, and he loves the prep still. He loves preparation. He loves talking to the coaches. He's got plenty of guys that help him, breaking down film. And so.
But Peyton gets so bothered by mistakes when he's watching.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine what, be a teammate of his.
How about a high school coach of his son coming up? Think he's going to be getting a few voice memos on Saturday morning? Goodness gracious.
I remember asking Tony Dungy, I said, how do you think Peyton would be as an analyst on TV? And he goes, he would drive everybody crazy with his preparation. He would drive everybody. You would be like, stop.
Peyton is prepared for everything. I mean, he's already, if we have a golf match in May, he's already concerned.
Walking the course.
Do I have my transportation lined up, and where am I going to park? I mean, he is a detail-oriented guy, and he doesn't sit still well, and his brain is always, it's moving. You see him sometimes just kind of off in the corner, like to himself, and it's wheels are turning.
I do love that Eli, I don't know if he got a personality at 40. I think he felt comfortable to showcase his personality to his brother. And he slices and dices Peyton, and it's really great to see.
He's really one of the few people that does that with really, where Peyton doesn't kind of keep a note, like I'm gonna return this favor in 5 years after what Dan Patrick said about me. Yeah.
Well, Peyton held a grudge for 5 years against me.
Oh, did he? Well,
long time ago.
Mine was at least 6 or 7 years. So you're.
He held a grudge. He held something over your head.
No. But I mean, Eli has just carte blanche to just rip him to death, and he can't. I guess they're partners forever. If they break up, that show's over.
And I like when he says Snyder remarked to Belichick.
Yeah, I mean,
about I don't know what it feels like to lose to you in the Super Bowl.
I know he's gotten cocky. What the hell, Eli? Yeah, I think anybody who comes out of the New York, media mass with relatively on good terms is, I guess, can say whatever he wants.
Where are you going to be on Super Bowl Sunday?
I'm going to be I work for Fox, and Fox has the game, so I'm going to be running the streets. I'll be down in the Dome early, and I don't know exactly what they have me doing, but probably interviewing a bunch of celebs that are coming to the game, so and asking them ridiculous questions, and then I'm free for the game, so I'm just going to be walking and go watch a game.
What are you going to be wearing? Are you going to wear an outfit?
Yeah, that's a good question. It depends.
Mardi Gras?
How Saturday night goes. It kind of dictates Sunday courage.
Any tips for us the next couple of days here?
I mean, y'all need to make sure you at least have a shrimp po' boy, fried shrimp po' boy, maybe a roast beef po' boy, some fried oysters, some raw oysters, a couple bloodies, maybe some tunes, maybe a new outfit for Paulie. We could probably work something. Anything?
Wow.
I was waiting on that.
Yeah.
Maybe a shirt where the belly button doesn't show. Other than that.
Did you?
I thought New Orleans, that was a thing.
Yeah, well, it will be, I guess.
Throw him some beads. He'll take his shirt off.
Oh, good. Yeah, we want to see those nips.
Did you ever get in trouble in the French Quarter growing up?
Yeah, hell yeah. There was a bar we used to go to in the French Quarter called Crazy Corner, and I literally think the drinking age was 13. I had a station wagon that it was going to be mine when you could drive at 15, but my friends were older, so I had a car without a license, and we'd drive down there and leave it there for the night because you couldn't drive. I mean, just the drinking age here is bizarre. I mean, people, it's like, I always thought it was funny when people from New Orleans go off to college and everybody's running wild. They're looking at them like, "What's your problem, buddy? I've been doing this for 3 or 4 years, So it starts fast. You learn how to deal with people and handle yourself in front of adults and have a few pops and not get in too much trouble.
When's the last time you threw up?
Oh, I dry heaved really hard this weekend. I'm not gonna lie. I saw something kind of gross. I got into a beer drinking contest. I have a buddy. Whenever you call him about 11 o'clock p.m. when you're kind of feeling a little high, a little ready for a couple more, you call him. He's my neighbor, and he always comes over and he brings a big ice chest full of just those little 7.5 ounce ponies, Miller High Lifes.
Yeah.
Iced. He's like on call, like just waiting, and go. And then you call it, Gordo, we're gonna have a few more beers over here. Boom, and Gordo there. And then you have to have I had 5 or 6. Just race them, just open the throat and let it go. And so I felt like ass the next morning. It was worth it.
Do you want to give a plug for the Manning Hour?
Oh yeah, it's the greatest 2 minutes.
Come on,
in sports.
you're a Manning. Aren't you supposed to be ready to promote
you
something?
Would think right, I know. They don't pay me enough. If you like seeing another side of players, I think that's kind of the whole thing. You get a manicure, you get a pedicure, you get a couples massage with Greg Olson or Cam Newton or Odell or all these great players that have been kind enough to join the show. You kind of show what are they like outside of the helmet. So year 10 comes to a wrap. Hopefully there's a year 11. I'm a year-to-year guy.
Great to see you.
Thank you so much
Thanks
for having
again
me.
for stopping by.
Thanks for giving me my start.
Yep, and tell your parents I said hello.
I definitely will.
I had dinner
Mm-hmm.
your parents' house many years ago.
I remember. I was there.
Yeah,
I was serving.
And we didn't realize it. It was like, oh, and this is my son Koopa.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, damn, he's serving us. I went into Peyton's bedroom though.
Did you?
Yes.
Was he in there?
No, he wasn't.
Oh, damn.
But your dad.
He's in there doing some deep knee bends.
No, your dad was like, Peyton not going to be happy.
Yeah. Why? He doesn't like you meddling in his stuff.
Well, nobody wants you to be in your bedroom.
Oh.
I wanted to jump up and down on the bed.
You should have. You probably did.
He's Koopa Manning.
Koopa?
Koopa. Peyton he didn't know how to pronounce your name.
It's Cooper. Cooper.
It's
like,
Cooper.
Like cookie. Like you don't read a book. you don't eat a chocolate chip cookie. You eat a cookie. Cooper. You'll get it. Dayton, Ohio. It takes him a while.
Thanks for joining us. He's Koopa Manning. We're back after this Dan Patrick Show.